welcome to Athens, one of the oldest and most historically important cities in the world. In this video, we'll take you through our complete Athens journey, from arriving at the airport and using public transportation, to exploring the city's famous landmarks, neighborhoods, and beaches. Our journey began in the United States, followed by a long overnight flight across the Atlantic. Fortunately, the FIFA World Cup was being shown on the plane, which made part of the journey much more entertaining. After several hours in the air, we finally arrived at Athens International Airport, excited to begin our first day in Greece. Once we had collected our luggage, we came outside the terminal and stopped for a quick brunch. There are cafes and food counters around the airport, so this can be a convenient place to eat, especially after a long flight. We kept it simple because we still had to travel into central Athens and check in at our hotel. After finishing our food, it was time to make our way towards the city center. We decided to use the metro, which is one of the easiest ways to travel from Athens Airport to the city center. From the arrivals area, follow the signs marked trains or metro. We first used the elevator to reach the upper level, and from there, a covered pedestrian walkway led us towards the railway station. The walkway is fully covered and connected to the airport terminal, so the route is fairly straightforward even when you are traveling with luggage. Continue following the train symbols until you enter the station building. The metro and suburban railway both operate from this area, so check the signs carefully before boarding. At the station, you can buy your ticket from a self-service machine or from the staff ticket counter. On the machine, select English, choose the airport metro option, confirm the number of passengers, and then complete the payment. Remember that a regular Athens city ticket is not valid for a journey beginning at the airport. Once the payment is complete, collect both your ticket and your receipt. Scan the ticket at the entrance gate and keep it with you throughout the journey, because you may need it again when leaving the metro system. For central Athens, make sure you board Metro Line 3 in the direction of Demodico Theatro. Syntagma Square is on the same line, so no train change is required. The journey normally takes around 40 minutes, and the station names are displayed and announced inside the train. After arriving at Syntagma, we continue towards our hotel. We personally used Uber for the final part of the journey, but Athens also has an extensive network of city buses, metro lines, and trams. On buses, visitors can simply tap a contactless Visa or a MasterCard at the blue validator, making public transportation very convenient even without purchasing a separate ticket beforehand. Syntagma is one of the most central and well-connected areas of Athens. From here, it is easy to reach many hotels and major attractions by metro, bus, taxi, or even on foot. After checking into our hotel, we took a quick break to freshen up after the long journey, but we didn't want to spend the rest of our first day indoors. Our next destination was the beautiful coastal area of Glyfada, and from there, our Athens adventure truly began. After taking a short break at our hotel, we headed towards the Athens Riviera. Our destination was Glyfada, a popular coastal neighborhood located south of central Athens. For convenience, we used Uber from our hotel. The drive also gave us our first proper look at the streets and everyday life of Athens beyond the historical city center. Once we reached Glyfada, the first beach we found was a lively public beach where local people were swimming, sunbathing, and spending a relaxed afternoon beside the sea. It was pleasant, but it was also fairly busy. So instead of settling there immediately, we decided to continue walking and explore a little more of the coastline. One of the best parts of visiting Glyfada is that you don't necessarily have to remain at the first beach you see. We followed the coastal path, lined with palm trees, and continued searching for a quieter place. The walk itself was beautiful, with open views of the sea appearing along the way. After walking a little farther, we finally found the kind of place we'd been looking for. This part of the beach felt much more peaceful, and the view was absolutely beautiful. The clear blue water, the open horizon, and the small palm-covered area in the distance made the entire setting feel almost picture perfect. Athens is famous for its ancient ruins, but this was a completely different side of the city. only a short journey from the historic center, we could slow down, enjoy the sea breeze, and experience the relaxed atmosphere of the Athens Riviera. After a long journey from the United States and a busy arrival in Athens, this quiet moment beside the sea was exactly what we needed. We sat together for a while, watched the waves, and simply enjoyed having nowhere else to rush to. Sometimes, the most memorable part of traveling is not a famous attraction or a planned activity. It is simply finding a beautiful place and allowing yourself enough time to enjoy it. As the afternoon continued, it was finally time for us to make our way back towards central Athens. For our return journey, we used the coastal tram. The tram is a comfortable and scenic public transport option for traveling between the seaside areas and central Athens. It also allowed us to see more of the city while avoiding another car journey. After reaching Syntagma, we noticed a couple having their wedding photographs taken near the square. With the historic buildings and the activity of central Athens in the background, it was easy to understand why they had chosen this location for such a special moment. From Syntagma, we took a public bus towards our hotel. Using the bus was simple. We boarded through the door and tapped our contactless bank card on the blue validator. But our day was not over yet. It was also my wife's birthday, so before returning to the hotel, we stopped at a local bakery and bought a cake to celebrate. We then ended our first evening in Athens with a comforting dinner at a Bangladeshi restaurant near our hotel. After a long international journey, a metro ride, the beautiful beaches of Glyfada, and several different forms of public transport, it was the perfect ending to our first day in the city. The next morning, we began our first full day of exploring Athens. We took an Uber to Monastiraki, planning to explore the area before walking towards the Acropolis. Even before we arrived, we could already see the Acropolis rising above the city. Seeing it from a distance made us even more excited, knowing that we would soon be walking towards it. We arrived in Monastiraki, one of the liveliest areas in central Athens. From the square, the Acropolis was still visible above the rooftops, while the surrounding streets were filled with shops, cafes, and people exploring the city. We started walking through the colorful market streets. There were fresh fruit stalls, small local shops, and busy walkways filled with both visitors and local people. The atmosphere felt energetic from the moment we arrived. Monastiraki is also a popular place for souvenir shopping. The streets were lined with hats, clothing, jewelry, handmade decorations, and almost every kind of Athens souvenir you could imagine. It is worth checking a few different shops before buying, as the prices may vary. As we continued walking, we heard local musicians performing beside the road. Small moments like this gave Monastiraki so much character and made the streets feel alive. Further ahead, we found streets filled with cafes and restaurants. Many had outdoor seating beneath shaded terraces, making this a beautiful place to stop for breakfast, lunch, or a short break. Only a short walk from the busy market streets, we reached the Roman Agora. This is one of the most fascinating things about Athens. Within just a few minutes, the surroundings can change from modern shops and restaurants to ancient ruins. Several parts of the site can also be seen clearly from the surrounding streets. After seeing the Roman Agora, we continued walking towards the Acropolis. The route passed through beautiful old streets lined with flowers, traditional buildings, small shops, and cafes. At first, the walk felt calm and easy, but gradually, the road began climbing uphill. As we moved closer to the Acropolis, the path became noticeably steeper. Some sections had uneven stones and several sets of steps, and under the summer sun, the climb was more tiring than we expected. Comfortable shoes and water are very important, especially during the warmer months. But the higher we climbed, the more the city began opening up behind us. Just below the Acropolis, we found a rocky viewpoint overlooking Athens. After the difficult climb, this view made every step worthwhile. Athens stretched across the landscape in every direction, with the ancient city standing above the modern one. We stayed here for a while, enjoyed the breeze, and took some of our favorite photographs from the trip. We were now ready to enter the Acropolis, but first we had to solve an unexpected ticket problem. At the ticket counter, the earliest available entry was 3:30 in the afternoon. Since we wanted to visit earlier, we checked online and found an available time slot immediately. At the time of our visit, the ticket cost €30 per person, so checking online can be very useful when the counter has limited availability. One of the first remarkable structures we saw was the Odeon of Herodes Atticus, an ancient stone theater built into the southern slope of the Acropolis. Looking down at its enormous seating area, it was astonishing to imagine gatherings taking place here so many centuries ago. Once inside, Athens opened up beneath us. From this height, the city seemed almost endless. White buildings stretching towards the surrounding hills, with ancient landmarks appearing between the modern neighborhoods. From there, we continued climbing along the stone pathways. Every few steps revealed another view of Athens, making the walk feel like part of the experience rather than simply a route to the top. And then, Parthenon finally appeared in front of us. We had already seen it from different parts of the city, but standing this close felt completely different. Its scale is difficult to understand from photographs alone. The massive columns, carefully balanced proportions, and detailed stonework left us wondering how people created something so ambitious with the tools available in the ancient world. Even after centuries of damage, the architecture remains extraordinary. After spending time around the monuments and enjoying the views, we began walking away from the Acropolis towards the quieter paths of Philopappos Hill. Within only a few minutes, the atmosphere changed completely. The crowded archaeological area disappeared behind us, replaced by trees, stone pathways, and a much calmer side of Athens. Hidden among the rocks, we reached the site traditionally known as the Prison of Socrates. The chambers are carved directly into the stone, creating a place that feels simple, quiet, and mysterious, a striking contrast to the grandeur of the Acropolis. We continued towards another viewpoint on the hill, where the Acropolis appeared above the trees in the distance. The weather was beginning to change, giving us a softer and more dramatic view of the ancient city. It was a peaceful ending to one of the most memorable parts of our Athens journey. After exploring Philopappos Hill, we began walking back towards the historic center of Athens. By this point, we had already covered a lot of ground, but the day was far from over. From the elevated path, we could see the Ancient Agora below us, including the remarkably well-preserved Temple of Hephaestus. We had originally planned to explore the site, but the entrance was €20 per person at the time of our visit. Since we still wanted enough time for Plaka and already had a dinner reservation, we decided not to rush through another archaeological site simply to complete a checklist. Instead, we stopped for lunch nearby, and honestly, it turned out to be a wonderful decision. We enjoyed a relaxed meal with the Acropolis visible above the city, allowing us to slow down after a long morning of walking. After lunch, we returned to our hotel to rest and freshen up before the evening. Traveling does not always have to mean moving continuously. Sometimes, a short break is what allows you to enjoy the rest of the day properly. Before heading out again, we sat at a small cafe near our hotel and had a coffee. It was a simple moment, but one of those quiet pauses that often becomes part of the memory of a trip. As the afternoon light began to soften, we made our way back towards the historic center. Our next destination was Plaka, one of the oldest and most atmospheric neighborhoods in Athens. We arrived during golden hour, when the warm sunlight gave the streets an entirely different character. Plaka felt more intimate than the busier parts of central Athens, with narrow pedestrian lanes, traditional buildings, and small shops appearing around every corner. This is the kind of neighborhood that is best explored without rushing. Rather than following a strict route, we simply walked through the streets, looked inside the shops, and allowed the atmosphere to guide us. Plaka is also one of the most popular places in Athens to shop for souvenirs. We found everything from magnets and miniature Greek houses to pottery, jewelry, and decorations inspired by the blue and white colors of Greece. Some of the shops were so colorful that browsing through them felt almost like visiting a small gallery. We took our time, compared a few places, and eventually chose several souvenirs to carry a little piece of Athens home with us. Outside, the streets were becoming busier as the evening approached. The sunlight filtered between the buildings, cafes began filling with people, and Plaka slowly changed from an afternoon shopping district into an evening neighborhood. With our souvenirs packed away, we continued through the golden streets towards our final destination of the day. We had reserved a table at Ciel Athens, a rooftop restaurant where we hoped to end the evening with dinner and one more unforgettable view of the Acropolis. After exploring Plaka during golden hour, we reached our final dinner destination, a rooftop restaurant overlooking the historic center of Athens. The moment we stepped onto the terrace, we saw the Acropolis rising directly above the city. We had already seen the Acropolis from several different places, but this view felt special. As the evening light softened, we settled in with our friends and finally slowed down after a long day of walking. We ordered souvlaki, while our friends tried a few other dishes from the menu. Good food, familiar company, and the Acropolis in front of us made this a simple but memorable final dinner in Athens. By the time we finished dinner, daylight had disappeared and Athens had changed once again. We left the rooftop and returned to the streets of Plaka for one final walk. Before ending the evening, we stopped for something sweet. We chose gelato, while our friends picked another dessert from the colorful display. At night, Plaka felt warmer and more intimate. The narrow streets were glowing beneath shop lights, restaurants were filled with people, and the neighborhood still felt alive long after sunset. With no more destinations left on our list, we simply continued walking and enjoyed the atmosphere around us. It was a quiet and unhurried way to spend our final moments in the city. and with the Acropolis shining above Athens, our journey through the city came to an end. We came for its history, but we left remembering its views, its streets, its food, and the moments we shared along the way.